Okay, I have never played Aviary Attorney before, although the name is funny to me. I like Harvey Birdman, and I like Always Sunny. I like the idea of there being bird law. So, no idea what to expect here. Got an email from a friend about this game like 5 years ago, apparently, saying, hey, there's a Phoenix Wright-like game involving birds. I'm going to try to get it full screen here in a second. Try to get any screen here in a second. Yeah, you sent me a Polygon article about it being worked on, I think. Yeah. There we go, that's better. Oh, don't tell me the game's windowed only. I'm going to try to get into an options screen in a second. Otherwise, I'll have to take a break really quick to get the video working. I like the title screen. Options. Full screen. There we go. Now we're slaving. Alright. Music volume, text speed. This looks great. New game. I like the art style. 1848. Oh, Jen played this? Nice. I'm not going to try to pronounce any of that. Someone in chat can give me the phonetic way to pronounce it, that's fine. It's a dead frog. Oh mon dieu. What have you done? Okay. Wow, it actually is. Oh, we'll see. That's a very Ace Attorney opening. It's just, they're just birds. Sparrowson. Where on earth is that featherhead? I really like the style of this game. Did you hear what they say about the early bird falcon? Too early for worms. Got business to handle first. The letter arrived while you were sleeping. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know what's funnier, if it's just like a normal story and everyone just happens to be animals, or if the animals play into it in some way. Ready today because my daughter has been arrested for a crime she did not commit. She's been held at a prison on the charge of murder. Trial is in 3 days' time. Greatly in your debt if you would offer her your legal aid. Repertoire. Okay. Your first serious client in months. The estate is known for its exuberant wealth. Cannot do much for Caterland. His lordship would still reward us handsomely for our efforts. You intend on defending her in court? Oh, I get choices. Be foolish to let such a good opportunity slip through our feathers. Grab your coat, Sparrowson. We're going to find our kitty client. I just noticed that he has normal human hands. That's kind of alarming. Repertoire's letter has been added to your evidence folder. Is it literally like Sheminik Schmite? That's kind of awesome. Call you losing at the New Year's party. No need to make a list. 20 francs. Birds with arms. Seen the birds aren't real subreddit? Joke is that all birds are actually surveillance devices. See how much money he's carrying any time with the wall is able. Welcome to the map screen. Travel to any listed area by clicking on a location name location node. Areas marked with a clock take a whole day to visit. Oh, interesting. What's... AA offices. No case too big or too small. Just procrastinating. Stop it. Okay. The music's pretty great, too. Oh my god, Ben. Very graceful. He was sitting on... Is your paw stuck? Do you need help? Aw. That's why he fell. Hold on. His paw is stuck in the grill of the top of my gaming PC. His claw's hooked in there. Gotcha. Sorry, Ben. Oh, was it quieter than Katana Zero? Thanks. He was trying, but he was still stuck the whole time. This is the finest prison in the whole of France. Yeah, I'm really sorry. French, I've never taken any French lessons ever, and I'm just always confused about which letters I'm supposed to not pronounce, so I'm just going to try to avoid attempting to mangle them. If a word is coming up constantly and someone wants to tell me how to pronounce it, feel free. Quark! Like a chocobo. God, the art of this game is incredibly good. Looks like they're trying to avoid drawing some hands, though, right? Follow me. Pop hasn't forgotten about me, has he? The fantastic lawyer, Monsieur Falcon, and his petite assistant, Sparrowson. Don't talk like that, Sparrowson. I really like that they're just playing this completely straight. This happens to be birds. Listing under Aviary attorney would pay off. Hey, that happens with my wife, Andrea. Her name is Andrea Albert, and in her field of astrophysics, papers are listed in alphabetical order of the author. She's always first author on papers, and things are like Albert et al. I can't read IPA, I'm sorry. Happened on the night of the murder. Who was there that evening? Did you see anything suspicious? It sounds like it was, right? I said, could someone add the phonetic pronunciation, but I mean, like, spell it out like a 4-year-old learning English. Because that's my level of understanding. What happened on the night of the murder? Friday evening, me and my papa arrived at a chateau, the home of a great baron. Grenouille and the baron about business stuff. Talking about company shares and investments, I didn't really understand most of this. Okay. That's helpful, thanks, Ludwig. This man with a camera took our photograph. That was a lot more fun. Took your what? Camera, it's a new gadget. A tiny bug sits in a box with a tiny paintbrush and paints your picture very fast. Technology is amazing. I love it. Yeah, I wish I could read it right now, GameSaucer. Read like Brad Pitt and Inglourious Bastards. Jimmy had the photograph. I went into the gardens to get some air, and that's when I found the body of Monsieur Grenouille. He was all ripped open. This is the frog or toad. A housemaid saw me standing over the froggy Monsieur, called for help, and then the police arrived. Before I could say anything, I ended up here. Such a blur. Papa taught me to be a brave cat. Who was there that evening? Me and my papa. There was Baron R, who hosted the dinner, and his housemaid, Colleen. And then Grenouille. And Robicio de Robinio, the man with the camera, but he was only there for a little while. Check my evidence locker here. Did you see anything suspicious? Fortunately, it's actually spelled Grenouille. Guy lurking in the shadows or a bloody murder weapon? Do believe you're looking for an easy answer. You got me. You missed something of huge importance. You said the food was delicious, but you didn't say what food it was. That effect is wonderful. Big fan. Poached red herring. Garnished with garlic butter. Marbled steak. What? This can't possibly be relevant to the case. Write it all down, please, for me. The red herring has been added to your evidence folder. I get it. Red herring. This is a red herring. Stole most of the consonants. Yeah. I mean, I make that joke about English, that the conservation of consonants, that in Boston they pock their ka, and that R migrated southwest to Texas, where you wash your car. Great Baron of Chateau something would have gorgeous silverware, but there was none to be seen. That is a little peculiar. Will be all. We have 2 tasks. Head to the chateau, try to see the scene of the murder for ourselves, track down the supposed photographer. 2 days for 2 tasks. Head back and get some rest first. So, okay, I think the thing that says that time will pass just means that if there's any other flavor text you want to unlock, make sure you get it before you click the clock option. Puffin wrong. Believe my story, don't you? I believe in justice. Fair trial can draw the truth from any situation. I believe in justice. That's good to hear? Not what the lady needed to hear. Fille de poo? I'm just randomly ignoring certain consonants and vowels. Does this just mean asshole in French? If serving justice makes me an asshole, and I'll wear that title proudly. I love the sound design in this. Son of a bitch. Okay. Things are getting a bit confusing, aren't they? I'm start compiling a Facebook. I can keep track of who everyone is. Collection of people's names, pictures, and descriptions. The name could use some work, though. J.J. Falcon. The aviary attorney himself. I like his hat. What a handsome fellow. Father of Catalan. Cork, ill-mannered jailkeeper. Elegant bougie daughter of Pertois. Grenouille. Thank you for spelling it like that and not the way that Serp spelled it. Froggy businessman who was found murdered at the chateau. But we have to actually meet them to see their faces. Gotcha. And access a list of people you've met at any time by clicking the book symbol, like the profiles in Ace Attorney. Bougie is millennial Gen Z abbreviation of bourgeoisie. Like, this place is so bougie. Make a quick save at any time by selecting Save and Quit from the pause menu. You can access the pause menu by clicking on the cog symbol in the upper left. Tell the difference between hot and heart in Boston. Yeah. It's like I can't tell you the difference between bedder, B-E-D-D-E-R, and better, B-E-T-T-E-R, the way I normally say it. I just say better. I'm better at this than you. What do you want? J.J. Falcon. I know who you are. I saw you come by earlier. Come back next week. Parlez-vous, Francois? Bougie? No. Google it. Boujie. I really like this artisanal grilled cheese, but man, is it bougie. Or there's a really nice art gallery in that part of town, but I don't like going there because it's really bougie. This is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock? There's a note on the door. Magnificent and marvelous artist, Robitio de Robinio, is currently out on an artistic expedition. Yeah, exactly, sir. And his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? It means he's a pretentious bird brain. Should knock anyway. We should break in. What? Are you serious? Maybe? I would have thought a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back, I'm barging the door down. Shouldn't we discuss this first? Right, so I like the timing on that. What in bird Jesus' name was that? Find an open window. I didn't think you'd turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Swanky? Ostentatious. That's just swanky talk for swanky. I'm gonna turn it back down a little bit. It looks like the max volume in this game is pretty high. Find anything that may help our case and get out. You're free to examine the scenery of the room. Click on an item of interest, and Falcon will examine it in closer detail. When you've had enough, or when you can find nothing else, click the X in the top right corner. Oh, thank you, game. God, I wish Phoenix Wright would do this, and maybe it does eventually. Tell me which parts of the screen are actually selectable. Tigress in profile. Paints, inks, and dyes. The newest ones do let you see that? Okay, good. Pixel hunting isn't something I'm a huge fan of. Oh, and once you've examined it, it's no longer examinable. Thank you, game. Finally dressed dandy fellow upon a horse. The horses aren't sapiens in this? Okay. A photograph of a ladder. It's really like a step ladder to me. Picture of the Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame Cathedral itself. Butterfly, or maybe a moth. Someone did the Gordon Ramsay meme where he's like gorgeous with a little girl, and then he calls a guy a fucking donkey with blathers and Animal Crossing. It's like the football fish, which is awful. Oh yes, gorgeous. Just like a beautiful butterfly. You fucking donkey. Once had an uncle who fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty. I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die? Got demoted. God. Shameful. Terrible. The horse just gave him a piggyback ride. It's a man in a top hat. If I squint and turn my head sideways, it's a black smudge. It's a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. How illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings. A little illegal. It's cool. We're lawyers. I like this game's humor. It's illegal. We're trying to solve a murder case, so it's forgivable. Saying a small act of evil is justifiable if it results in a greater good? Just put words in my beak. Picture of a fence. It's a fancy photograph. It leaves the viewer defenseless. I would pick it as my favorite. Does it have supernatural elements based on Japanese mythology that don't show up until Act 3 of the game? It's the important part. Chandelier. You should get one of those for the office. Picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. No, what's on the easel? Copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. I like the giraffe lady. A housemaid, Pertoire. Do we just take this? We should take it. May as well borrow it. But they're actually making that a question instead of Phoenix Wright just takes everything without a question. I think that's everything in this room. Third act Aztec myth. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. What happened to my door? We're attorneys who've been hired for the purpose of... Raven! A raven did it! We saw the whole thing! What are you doing, Sparrowson? I've got this. Nobody's going to jail. Just take it easy. Always after our shiny objects, am I right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so they do have some animal jokes, other than just bird puns. We have some monster crows in our town. They're like about the size of Ben and Marty. Average house cat. Criminals do return to the scene of the crime. I don't know what I was thinking coming back here. We already got what we came for. Okay, so the clock icon means this is where progress happens. It doesn't really mean that you're consuming a resource by doing it. It's another thing that would be nice if it was in Phoenix Wright. It was like an icon that said if you go to this area, there will be plot progression. Often you kind of just have to visit every area until you get the little time of day pop-up. People with dirty clothes and gaunt faces linger around the building's shadows. So this, she spelled Monsieur, the way that you guys were basically telling me to pronounce it. Is this a different word? Or are they just spelling it the way it's pronounced? Oh, it's plural, okay. Is it pronounced identically? I don't mean to be a pain, but a little girl and I are sick and starving. I suppose you have some spare change. Give 10 francs. Stay safe. Bless ya. Pretty generous of you. Making sure a mother and child can make it through the last of winter is the least I can do. Come on, Sparrowson, we've got business to attend to. The sewers. Like, I guess you vocalize the E more than you do in Monsieur. Monsieur. Pristine wood-paneled foyer of the chateau. The Baron must be loaded. More than loaded. I love all the anachronistic language in this game. Baron knows a little bit of everything here. The R is silent too? Okay. Monsieur. God, there's so many unnecessary letters. Let's approach a man of his stature with tact and finesse. Hey, Baron, we'd like a word. I think this game's sound design is like one of its strongest suits. Nice. Great Baron Rogreer. You know how to pronounce this guy's last name? Great Baron R, property owner extraordinaire, at your service. We're attorneys. Private attorney J.J. Falcon, and this is my associate, Sparrowson. Like his cigar. Asked a bunch of questions and hopped away before he heard the answers. Most curious. I have a hunch I'll be seeing him at the trial. Doing research on Grenouille, the frog who was killed here on Friday evening. This is a tiny lion or you're a fuck huge bird. I think it's just everyone is a wood-etched anthropomorphic animal person of roughly equal size. It seems like everyone has a fairly human body and then just has an animal head. But it's hard to tell because everyone's wearing a lot of clothes because of the era. Once we get to the hot springs scene, we'll know for sure. Find the garden where the murder occurred to the back doors. Where we gathered prior to the unfortunate incident. This game must have been fun to like storyboard out. You imagine the person's like, okay, for the art in this sequence, I need him to pause, and then we need to have an animation of him exhaling smoke. Promise, it's worth the effort. My own copy of the photographs will be delivered in 3 days' time. It's not good to us. The trial may be over by then. Okay. In the Aviary Attorney universe, trials are instant. Right to a speedy trial. Let's see, so my Facebook should be filled out now. Mother and her bouncy daughter who begged us for money. Baron, Great Lion of the Chateau. Ruthless businessman. Delusional artist and photographer. We haven't visited the garden yet. We need to do that. Sure. Her head's cut off at the top of the screen. That's great. Second floor, third door on the right. This must be the room where the photograph was taken. Muting for a sec, hold on. Responding to Andrea via Google Home. I just pocketed something from that drawer. You should totally call her out on it. Excuse me, madam. Are you two policemen? No, we're private attorneys. My name's J.J. Falcon. Oh, I like her Animal Crossing voice, whatever you want to call that. Similes or whatever. Let me grab a chair and then she shrinks down. Is this where the photograph was taken? Looking for the room where the photograph was taken prior to the incident. I saw the session for myself. The cameraman was standing just about where you're standing. He pointed at the clock above the mantelpiece. How convenient! Time puzzles! The painting totally clashes with the decor. Clock has no hands. Clock never had hands in all the years I've worked here. Keeps it around as a conversation piece. Well, we're conversing about it, so I guess it's working. Seen clock hands have been added. I don't think I can see the finished photograph, right? Is there something we should know? This game is very surprisingly polished for what I assume is an indie title. A little nervous after all the trauma of last week. Sure there isn't anything you're hiding? It's okay to tell us, we're defense attorneys. That means we help people get away with criminal acts. Right, and wait, what? No! What do we do then? I'll tell you later. I appreciate that they're, like, actually mentioning that, because I don't think Phoenix Wright really talks too much about defending guilty people. You've been a huge help. I know you two saw me stealing as you came in. Appreciate you didn't give me the third degree about it. You have a much larger crime to worry about. You stolen anything else like silverware? Start with a couple teaspoons. You're watching Phoenix Wright, but with birds. Let's go to garden. Found Grenouille on the stairs by the fountain. This must be the very spot where the murder took place. When she first showed up on screen, her head was taller than the screen itself. She had to sit down. Think we could all eagle-eyed and analyze every object in excruciating detail. You mean search for evidence? Yeah, do that. Beautifully made horse statue. You know, my uncle once had a horse who refused to eat hay. Horse is like the only animal in this universe that aren't sapient. Pulling up on horse nerves. Ugh, terrible. Bird law. So it behooves you to stroke the mane? Dried blood on the staircase. That must be where Grenouille died. Maybe a name scrawled in blood written with the frog's last breath? All I see here is a big sticky puddle. Nothing to indicate the body was moved or that the frog left a last-minute clue. He was attacked and killed on the staircase. This one has a goofy face. A horse walks into a bar and the barkeep says, "Why the long face?" Yes, we've all heard that one. No, the barkeep says, "You gotta stop coming here. You're drinking us under the stable." It's time to rein in the horse jokes. Fountain is finely crafted. It's solid carved marble. Shame we can't see inside the upper basin room here. Perfect place to stash a murder weapon. Nice, Sparrowson. I'm sorry, I wasn't being direct enough. What I meant to say was, Sparrowson, go wait in the fountain and take a closer look. I'm a respectable lawyer. You can't expect me to roll up my trousers and paddle around the fountain like a duck in a lake. Can't justify me getting my sweet threads wet. Flip for it. Flip this coin. You call the outcome. Get it wrong, you'll go for a swim. Oh, Napoleon's in this? So what animal was Napoleon? According to the coin, looks like just a human. Okay. It's like BoJack Horseman universe. Plant squiggles. It's called a wreath. I'll bet on the plant squiggles. Its heads. Should have gone with the Emperor. Really should learn how to spot a rigged coin flip. Nice. Custom graphic for soaked JJ Falcon. Did find a mystery item in the basin. It's not a murder weapon, though. It's a wet cigar butt. Interesting. Cigar found in the bottom of the fountain. Can only be reached with a little waiting. I think that's almost everything. Baron certainly likes his horse statues. I don't mind the horse statues. The cherub people creep me out. Baby should be waddling, not attempting to saddle this horseback riding. Alright, that's everything. Trust everything was in order. We had a good look. Thank you, Baron. What happened on the night of the murder? Am I in trouble? Not at all. Guests arrived at 5 o'clock. We all sat down for dinner in this Aviary hall at 6. Photographer arrived at 7 o'clock. It was a bug in a box. Housemaid discovered the crime scene soon after that. About your housemaid. She's a courteous lady, isn't she? I'm not gonna rat her out. She was quite helpful. We'll be leaving. If anything goes wrong in the trial, we could always just wing it. Terrible. Just terrible. So it's interesting that this game appears to possibly have impactful choices, whereas the Phoenix Wright games are very much on rails. We'll see, though.
Dylan, I'm getting ice.
Thank you. My wife's making a drink, so I'm on mute, but I'm reading this.
Alright.
Oh, nice. I like the design of the courtroom. Hey, look at the judge. This is great. J.J. Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Rabbington. The readiest prosecution. Nice. So he's like the novice prosecutor. Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all my classes. Was he smart? No. He always scored the second worst marks in the class. Bumbled through on the luck of 2 rabbits' feet. Who scored the second lowest marks? Who scored the lowest? I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Are the jury all present? Oh man, they really put some effort into this game. I'm impressed. I really like this artwork. I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? The associate judges. It's a thing? Interesting. It's like 2 expert members of the jury, basically. I like the hippo. Inspector Valerti. It's Gumshoe. As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. State your name and occupation. Is it Just? Servant to the law, scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. Enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Katana Zero is the Hotline Miami style game. Mark of the Ninja meets Hotline Miami. Just ZH, I think, is kind of like a mix between a J and a Z sound. The art style. Marco Cerlucci witnessed upon your arrival. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of the Baron. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline, however you pronounce, Demiao? Is that how you're supposed to say it? Standing over the corpse of Grenouille with his blood on her paws. Sounds like an open and shut case in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. Bloody paws. No one told me that detail. I like that this isn't like 100% on the nose Phoenix Wright, but it has some things in common. It definitely has its own identity. But having things like it's a 3-day trial and the trial happens immediately. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Select a key phrase you find suspicious. Falcon will press the witness. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Oh, interesting. Housemaid at the scene of the crime, standing over the sliced open corpse, blood on her paws. What was the cause of death? Gaping slash from shoulder to thigh. Blood was everywhere. Spoke with the coroner, he was in agreement. The frog died from blood loss, caused by the open wound. Do you have another question about the corpse? Cataline? Fine and deep cut, the sort you'd expect to see from a sharpened saber or a surgeon's knife. Or a cat's claw? Certainly. You say a saber or knife could have inflicted the wound. Isn't this a line of investigation worth pursuing? Do you see or hear anything about a knife or sword at the crime scene? Don't think so. Just the cigar, but maybe that's why the cigar is all cut up. It's a pretty unlikely possibility. Let's stick to the facts. No more questions about the corpse. Blood on her paws. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Whose blood was it? I'm going to say, we don't know. It's not that time. It's Grenouille's, of course. Only belonged to one person. Falcon trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. Do you have any reason to suspect the blood belonged to someone other than Grenouille? I do. Evidence that the blood of the paws had nothing to do with the murder. Where did the blood come from? Oh god. Bloody rare steak. The music cuts out too. I love that effect. Is this true, Ravington? In a manner of speaking, I suppose steak may have been on the menu. And Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility the blood of the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Don't answer that. It is a possibility. No! You gained favor with the jury. Cool. I like that there's actually a jury in this, too. Is it possible you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? You're overlooking something quite crucial. She's an elegant bourgeoisie kit. Bourgeois. Oh, Ben, don't, not on the carpet, Ben. God damn. Well, at least it wasn't, almost was on a power brick, which would have been really gross. Fortunately, pulled him away from that. Clean up after stream, though. To have eaten the steak with her fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like any proper civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? It's a good question. It would be at an ordinary dinner banquet. But something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced her to eat with her paws. The silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Weren't there anything missing from the residence? Baron approached us with this very subject last night. Innocent, perhaps. What a twist! I think the hippo is the best. Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax you overlooked these basic facts? I know, right, Serp? Ace Attorney, except they cut out all the fat in the writing. The game is 5 hours long. It's spelt. It's amazing the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Be on your way, Inspector. Let's call up the photographer. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? If anyone in the courtroom doesn't immediately recognize me. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. You may see my work in these hip magazines. I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's 19th century. Get with the times. I was hired by the Baron to capture the evening's events. Yeah, it's a famous painting that says, this is not a pipe, right? But it's a picture of a pipe. Painting of a pipe. With regard to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I think that matches my photograph, right? I can't look at it closer. Ah, but the clock has hands! Objection! Father of the defendant, and the housemaid, who snuck into the picture uninvited. Two people are clearly absent. Victim, Grenouille, and the defendant, Catherine de Meow. Just a moment, Ravington. This proves nothing. Doesn't mean they were in the garden together at this point. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set at 7:30. It's the exact time the murder took place. The photograph doesn't seem right. It looks different than the one we borrowed from the studio. One of the photographs must have been edited in some way. You should slam that evidence down and be like, bam! Inconsistency! This whole courtroom is out of order. Case closed. I can't do that. I can't do that because our evidence was illegally obtained. If I were to present it, Rubinio would ask how we acquired it, and the whole trial could derail. Worst case scenario, I could lose my legal license. Wow. So, in addition to it being Phoenix Wright, but with a svelte script and all the fat cut out, also it's kind of commenting on the fact that Phoenix Wright goes around stealing evidence everywhere. I like that, though, because, I mean, that's often a thing. It's like, this is inadmissible, but it lets us know we're on the right track, so can we still get the right answer using admissible evidence? Photographs are rock-solid evidence. 7 p.m. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake. Why is it in black and white? It's probably funny dialogue, but I don't want to piss off the jury. It's a direct reflection of reality, correct? Leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. That is most curious because I see a mistake. Click on the area that you believe contains a mistake. Clock. There's something not right about it. I love that it also lets you see which sections you can select. I guess you might risk giving something away. It doesn't show you the cursor when you hover over it, so you do have to do the initial click. But that's something I struggled with a lot in Phoenix Wright, of knowing if I was clicking the right part of the screen that the game wanted me to click. Something wrong with the clock in that picture. There should be no hands on it. Clock in the lounge of the chateau has no hands. It has no hands? Decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask the Baron or his housemate if you have doubts. How do you explain this discrepancy? This is no mistake, sir. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process. Precisely where the clock's hand should be? Don't patronize us. You edited this photograph. Edited? I suspect you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. Would have been a simple task considering the clock face was bare. I like that they're trying to fit this in the time period too. I like that adds some unique challenges and also allows them to design the narrative around it. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. How would the witness do such a thing? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. Rubinio created a perfect alibi, and this is the point where, like, it's weird. I played so much Phoenix Wright at this time, and in particular quite recently, that I already expect to hear the sound of the courtroom, like, murmuring to each other after that line. Who is the witness protecting, and why? Was Rubinio coerced, bribed, threatened? Let's hear some answers. I'm guilty, I did it all. You're confessing to the murder? What? No. No idea who killed the frog. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs, and that included adding hands to the clock. I dare not say. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. Okay, well, several keys have claws in this. We don't live under the ancient regime. Since you've admitted to falsifying evidence, we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Please leave. You'll be charged with perjury in due course. Fuck yes! About fucking time. I love this game. This is all I wanted. The least I deserve for my failures as an artist. I wonder if this game actually attempts to recreate, like, the French courtroom in the 19th century as well. Pretty convincing. still depicts her as absent close to the time of the murder. Don't be dense. If the photograph's not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Except that one part of the picture was edited, we must accept the possibility that other parts were too. Yeah, I asked this question repeatedly during Phoenix Wright. Like, is Phoenix Wright is a courtroom video game only able to work if everyone involved is an idiot? And I don't think that's necessarily true. It can still be silly, right? What are you saying? The housemaid paid off the photographer? The housemaid lacks a motive. It wouldn't make sense for Pertois to implicate his own daughter. Surely you're not suggesting the honest and beloved Baron deliberately tried to frame her? That would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron's a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Yeah, I think it's right. It's probably a spectrum. He's just here. I see my good reputation getting tarnished by your incompetence. No objections here. But speak without fear and prejudice, etc., etc. Dinner went magnificently. When we left to visit the garden. The photographer left. The house would love to go find Grenouille and Caroline. I would like to cross-examine the witness. Do you doubt my integrity, boy? Just here to uncover the truth. Cool. Dinner went magnificently. The photographer arrived and we left to visit the garden. This is a red herring. We saw the murder scene, your garden for ourselves. When was the last time you visited it? I have quite serious allergies. I haven't been to my own garden for years. Years, you say? That's not right. Do not wish to call you a liar, but that claim does not hold up to scrutiny. We have hard evidence you visited the garden recently. Balderdash, my word is gold. Your cigar. Right beside where the murder occurred. I love that effect. It's delightful. A cigar butt? That is indeed the remnants of one of my cigars, but I must apologize, Mr. Falcon, for I misunderstood your initial question. Prior to the banquet, I hadn't visited my garden in years. But after hearing the housemaid's cry for help on the evening of the murder, I rushed outside. Shocked and disgusted, that must have been when I dropped my half-smoked cigar in the fountain basin. Perfectly reasonable explanation. I would find that believable if the cigar were casually discarded. But as it happened, the butt was found in the fountain's upper basin, a location that could only be accessed with great inconvenience and a little paddling. It was deliberately hidden, though there are any number of possible explanations. You deliberately hid your cigar butt to disguise your own illicit activities. Point. Flash behind it. Audience murmuring. Let's put everything on the table. You murdered Grenouille. That is what you were trying to keep hidden. How shamelessly brazen. No means or opportunity. Every piece of evidence points to the Baron as the prime suspect. This is a great tutorial trial. His lion's claws are sharp as a surgeon's blade. Gutting a frog's belly would be trivial to him. Orbinio confessed he feared his claws. I would never threaten a man with violence. Baron had 10,000 francs worth of motive. By removing a business partner, the Baron's share of his railway company increased from 1/3 to 1/2. The Baron had opportunity. He crafted the perfect opportunity. Arranged a banquet with a select number of guests. He was aware of the missing silverware, and yet he served steak. A food item that necessitates good cutlery. Then he hired an easily influenced doctor. I like the orchestral corner music. Photographing the guests in front of a handless clock to make easy editing is quite an ingenious plan, it must be said. I'm just gonna let this slanderous yarn go uncontested? Say something, object! After executing the murder, the Baron found himself holding a single piece of incriminatory evidence, a cigar. He knew leaving it at the crime scene would raise suspicion. Hi, Andrea.
Yo!
He
Sorry.
didn't have time to properly dispose of it. Out of desperation, he threw it into his fountain. He wanted to implicate her dad.
Indeed. Oh, I like the music. It's like a ballet or something. We are making a rum and Diet Coke.
I demand you disbar this ranting lunatic. This is Phoenix Wright, but with birds. Animal people.
I like the art style.
Yeah, it's great. So far, I think this is strictly better than Phoenix Wright, but we'll see. How dare you, boy, the utter nerve, for a lying scumbag of a lawyer to accuse a philanthropist like myself. A respectful, hardworking capitalist. It's all French period music? Nice. I'd have gut you right here like a damned frog!
Who does frogs?
The frog is the murder victim. He was sliced open by lion's claws.
God, was he part of like a biology class?
No, in this universe he was a business partner of the Baron.
I would look at the biology class.
I'm on it, Your Honor. Don't touch me, you filthy jackdaw. Quite a turn of events. Rabington's Animalese voice sounds like the effect that plays when you go in to play a mini-game in Link to the Past. It keeps throwing me off. Elkin, that was incredible. I hope it was enough. Just prove your innocence. We'll get a not guilty verdict for sure. You misunderstood something important about the justice system. I haven't proved anything. As lawyers, we cannot deal in proofs. It's just not possible. All we can do is organize the evidence. I love you, Aviary Attorney. This game is incredible. I haven't proved her innocence. All I've done is demonstrate there is significant possibility she's not guilty. I know, right? Yeah. It's going out of its way to say, like, guys, this isn't Phoenix Wright. Like, this is a Western court system. I'm not sure I understand the difference. I've reached a decision. In light of the recent revelations, it's clear that an error of judgment was made with the initial arrest. On that note, we unanimously find the defendant not guilty. Hey! The fade in text is in the same font, though. I love it.
Oh, that sounds good, Sailor Dan. Where do you get the passion fruit juice? Do I have that as miss?
Should head back to the office so we can celebrate. Where's the gumshoe confetti? This was a group achievement. Dude, I am super into the, like, indie take on a beloved game that has basically refused to change for a long time, but people still like anyway. I want someone to make this, but with Animal Crossing. It's an indie schmanimal.
Wait, so who killed the frog?
The Baron. The lion that was on the stand. I was defending her. She was being accused of it, but the Baron falsified evidence. You walked in at the end of the trial.
Oh.
They are doing it with Pokemon right now. They're making it an MMO.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, sir. You haven't proven that.
Proven what?
That it was the Baron.
That's true.
All you did was make reasonable doubt saying it
I got Caterina out. She was declared not guilty, and that was my purpose. That's right.
Well, but is the Baron going to go free?
No, he was just arrested.
I feel like we're not getting justice here. Oh, he was?
He just got arrested.
But we haven't seen his trial.
No, and we won't, because we're the defense attorney. Why would we see his trial?
To get closure?
Oh my god, Andrea. You're defending the Phoenix Wright model?
I guess.
In the Phoenix Wright model, we always figure out exactly who did it beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
In this game, we're a defense attorney, so we just have to get our client not guilty by creating reasonable doubt.
I play video... Now, this is going to sound really funny. I play video games to escape reality. In this game, where a bunch of animals are anthropic...
I murdered Grenouille. Saw him in the garden, all drunk and vulnerable, and I seized my opportunity. Wow. It was nothing personal, just business, you understand?
Oh, good. She just confessed. See, it wasn't the Baron. You were gonna throw a guilty man into jail?
To increase my papa's share in the train company. This is a great twist. I like this. Confession doesn't make any sense at all. I found the Baron's cigar butt hidden in the garden. Oh, I put that there. I expected the police to find it. Suppose I was putting too much faith in Paris's finest. I dig it. Papa knew I needed an alibi, so I ordered Robinho to paint me over the Baron and hands the clock. It's a good thing Mr. Falcon was so imaginative.
Forgery, or...
Absolutely.
I feel like she should be in jail for...
Well, she's telling me she didn't say that to the courtroom. The person who falsified the evidence is in jail, also for perjury. Because there are actual consequences in this game. There aren't any lawyers in the whole of France who could have won a case like this. And for a bourgeoisie kitty like me, I think you should leave. Here's the payment for your services. This game almost feels like it's commentary on Phoenix Wright in a lot of ways. It's funny, too. Game has been saved. You wish to continue? Yes. 1848. Louvre? How do you pronounce it?
Dude, I don't know. I'm never good at French words.
Let us be reasonable. Sure, this is a simple misunderstanding. The name of the king, arrest that Spaniard. I love that there's little things that are like on the nose similar, kind of like how like A Hat in Time has the little jingle whenever you collect a timepiece in that game that reminds you of Mario 64, while the game itself isn't exactly one-to-one Mario 64. The little pre-act screen is very similar. I know, right, Robin? I should go look for him. We're playing as Sparrowson now?
I'll just have to find out.
Excuse me, I'm looking for my friend. Not at the jail. Not at the chateau. Down here. Sparrowson, right? Heard about the case you're involved in. I would have thought the Baron was a murderer. They always treated me with
the cat.
Well, we got the Baron. We basically accused him in order to get the cat off, and she got off. She was
right, but then
declared
there
not
was
guilty.
another cat that confessed
To me, the defense attorney, in our office, after we successfully got her declared not guilty. She was like, I actually did it. Good job. Here's your money.
Wait, but... So what happened to the Baron?
The Baron's in jail.
For the murder?
Yeah.
He had his own trial?
Presumably. In the time that passed since then. The most ruthless killers are the ones who can put up the best facade. He was successfully framed by our client in the first act.
Right.
He's brooding in the corner, mumbling and drinking. He's depressed from being a defense attorney. Just a little rustic. No sign of Falcon here. Excuse me, Rupert. Hey, it's the first year dropout. I didn't drop out. I was forcibly ejected. Looking for Falcon. Have you seen him? The guy who blundered his way through the trial with very dubious evidence. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is what an actual defense attorney would do in this case.
Well, but now that you know the truth, don't you have some, like, you know, obligation to come forward and reveal the true murderer?
No! What crime shows are you watching?
I mean, don't you have a moral obligation?
No, absolutely not.
So you know that someone is falsely imprisoned,
yes,
and this other person confessed to you, and that's totally fine.
Absolutely.
Would that be fine in real life?
Yes! Are you serious? Are you serious?
Don't you want the justice to be served to the right person? No,
defense attorneys need to completely privilege all information that they have from their client. That's their job. It would not be good if defense attorneys would turn around and betray their clients.
Right, but that wasn't his client. That was another cat.
No, the cat who did it was his client.
He got her off?
He got her off.
I thought it was a different cat. I thought they were different cats.
I'm so confused. Like, are we just completely on the different pages about the justice system?
Yeah, no, client privilege, whatever, that is a thing.
Okay. How are you doing, hun? Here to find a friend. It's a big guy named JJ Falcon. That lump's been here all weekend, moaning and muttering to himself. Go to the drinking room first. Technically, there were two cats. There was our client and our client's father, but we never met her father, so... What are you doing on the floor?
But don't you feel bad getting her off?
That's the point, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's why the attorney is currently drunk and lying on the floor. Pour a drink on his head. Wakey, wakey.
I mean, I always thought that if they were actually guilty, then you just plead, like, guilty by insanity. Or you plead down and be like, dude, it's not murder one, it was manslaughter.
Are you with us, Falcon?
I don't think I could be a defense attorney.
Okay. That's what's interesting, is that Phoenix Wright casts the defense attorney as the good guy in the equation. Not that defense attorneys are all bad, right? Followed all the procedures, I found all the evidence, I presented the case beautifully. Yet a guilty feline walks free while an innocent man sits in custody. What went wrong? Need to try harder. Try harder? I don't know if we messed up or if the system messed up or what, but we have to do our best as lawyers, I suppose. If we work hard enough, we can stop mess-ups from happening again. What I do have is freshly baked croissants. Waiting for you back at the aviary. Sitting here moping about justice, and you offer me croissants.
I thought he got the pan of chocolate, not the croissant.
Those croissants are amazing.
This game is inconsistent with its storytelling. Benedict!
American's a whole nother language.
No, I always call pain de chocolat like a chocolate croissant.
That's what they just said. In America, they call them chocolate croissants.
Hey!
Hello? Oh, do we have a new... Okay, so they're not all giant human animals with animal heads like BoJack Horseman. It's an actual small mouse. Is this the aviary attorney? Can I speak to someone, please? What do they call crepes? Excuse me! Do you hear something? Later, sir. Good luck with Urana. Mousy. My name is Mousy. I have this friend. He's fallen under some legal turbulence. I'm saying he's a murderer, but he didn't do it. That's quite a problem. I forgot to mention he's the Prince of Spain. You didn't think that was worth mentioning from the start? Why did you come to us? I would have thought the Spanish royal family would hire legal counsel with a little more... not terribleness? Expertise. Oh, the prince has great faith in your lawyering skills. Your reputation as a lawyer was renowned. The prince said that? We'll take the case. We'll take another case from a rich person.
Is there like a line of this where he just like gives up on the law and becomes an alcoholic?
That's what I'm interested to see. Like, this game appears to be commentary on Phoenix Wright in a lot of ways. It's pretty silly, but I think it's also somewhat mature commentary on Phoenix Wright. In the way that, like, you know, Undertale is commentary on the JRPG.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright, except a little less black and white, good versus bad, right?
Also a little bit more like the Western court system.
Yeah, a little bit more like reality, which makes me uncomfortable. I don't like reality. I just want to sit on my island.
You want a parrot to test like a parrot to testify in a human world?
I want to sit on my fake island next to my fake house, next to the fake beach, on my fake chair, and catch fish and butterflies and cut down your trees.
I hope that a parrot testifies in this game before it's over. That would be perfect. Just like a regular human parrot, as opposed to a Phoenix Wright parrot. That would be delightful. I wonder if that was their idea for the game from the get-go. Like, we want to have an actual parrot testify and play it completely straight. Anyway.
Yes, Animal Crossing.
If the lion didn't want a death sentence, he probably shouldn't have killed a guy. Get a human to testify. Mouthy fox, huh? Guy's driving me nuts with his flamboyant attitude. The sooner he hangs, the better.
I thought they cut off heads. I guess maybe that's just for the king and queen.
Prince of Spain, I presume.
Was that earlier? That was earlier. I guess they moved that.
Juan Querido, heir to the throne of España. You must be the legendary lawyer, Senor J.J. Falcon. I wouldn't say legendary, I wouldn't even say notable. Such humility. Let us get down to business. I trust that my compañero, Mousy, explained the situation. Told us you've been accused of murder, but we need some further details before we can start our investigation. Tell us about the murder.
Just cut right to the chase, huh?
Confused as to how a member of royalty could get into so much trouble. It was the cold and misty morning of the 6th of January. I heard King Louis was unveiling a new painting at the Louvre.
Isn't it just Lou?
Lou?
Right, because the whole French thing is you only pronounce 50% of the letters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Louvre.
Louvre. I said Louvre.
No. Then you were right.
Presented a humble gift to the king, a rose, an international symbol of passion and virtue. How romantic. Before the king could take it, a rather rude person snatched it from my fingers. A royal guard. A dog with the name of Major Howl. There is a subtle R sound at the end. Okay. Louvre. Louvre. Major slumped to the floor. His face turned blue, his mouth frothed, and he died. He died right after being pricked? Straight away, senor. It's obvious the pricked finger was the cause of death, but I don't know of any poison that acts so fast.
He was poisoned before he got the flower.
Nor do I. The police felt the poison upon the rose's thorns was the only logical explanation. With so many witnesses, even the king himself, what can I say to defend myself? Where did the rose come from?
The rose is a red herring.
We had a literal red herring in the previous
I was
trial.
just gonna ask!
Yeah.
No, the rose.
It was one of the first bits of evidence we got. Like, I ate some red herring, and it was like, red herring added to evidence. You're not suggesting the flower girl applied the poison herself.
Did they find poison on the flower?
This is in the 19th century. I don't know if they would have been able to tell. Why are you in Paris? It's on a diplomatic mission. I don't know whether you're familiar with current events, but you may have heard that my country's in a state of turmoil. Contenders for the Spanish throne are slandering, plotting, and backstabbing. I can befriend some French royalty, perhaps even the king himself. Maybe I can strengthen my family's name. Hi, Ben. Just walking directly in front of the monitor, so I appreciate the corporal smuggling. We do everything in our power to clear your name. What were you reading? I think that the artists for this game do not like to draw hands. The Sparrow Son has his hands behind his back. Don Quixote. It's a strange story. I don't know whether I'm supposed to be laughing or crying over the hero's misadventures. It's easy to read the book as a comedy, but when I look through, or look around, I can't help but see all the people who think themselves as knights. Most of my reading material tends to be on the lighter side, nice and pulpy. I'll keep it in my bathroom for toilet reading material. Okay. Got a copy of Don Quixote. Page 44 is missing. 2 lines of inquiry. Head to the scene of the crime. See if we can find any clues or witnesses. Interview the flower girl in the market. 2 tasks spread over 6 days? That sounds too easy.
Mwah, precious little guy. He's so precious.
Something seemed off about Prince Juan to you? He seemed off. If this is bothering you, we could always ask around. Maybe someone in the city knows Juan's dirty secret. Okay. A new day. Just scoping the place out. I know who you are. I saw you come by earlier. Okay. Basically, no reason to visit a place that doesn't have a clock icon next to it. It literally is as if Phoenix Wright gave you a drop-down of all the areas you could go to without requiring you to visit them one by one, and told you which ones had new events on them. Got it. I thought you were done with your mopey drinking. I'm not here to drink. Or mope. Start asking questions.
Oh, is that a dodo?
You saw her earlier.
Oh, I remember the rose now. It is a dodo.
This isn't exactly the classiest pub in Paris. The old regulars, Rufus and Powell, playing cards in the attic. I never did stop in the card room before. And there I was, in the grasslands 10 kilometers downriver, rifle in hand, pursuing a set of footprints for an hour. It was a boar, a big stupid boar, completely oblivious to my existence. Okay, so a non-sapient boar, got it. Bam! Piero had better testify.
You want him to parrot?
Yeah. Boar was frothing at the mouth. It was rabid? It's a symptom of poisoning. Ask about the boar. I can't take you to other islands. Delta Oscar, Delta Oscar. Must have ate something bad. Saw some of that poisonous plant around. Wolfsbane, they call it. I'm a hunter, not a vet. Don't you suppose I've seen a Juan Carrillo around here? Spanish royalty. Foxy fellow, swanky hat, calls everyone senor. Ain't got a clue. Barking up the wrong tree. Do we look like walking encyclopedias or something? Leave them be. Rufus. Once a lady goes walrus, she never...
Well, they never go walrus.
No one ever goes walrus.
He sounds so sad.
I don't think he is a walrus. I thought it looked like a tusk on the side.
I like mating with Beachmaster because he's the largest.
You can see some hands being drawn here. Care to play some Jacques Noir? Absolutely.
What is that?
No idea. You know how to play? Nope. I have a deck of cards with values between 1 and 11. I deal you 1 card at a time. If you hit 21, you win. Oh, blackjack. Yeah. Noir is black. Yeah, a little card minigame. That's cute. Hey!
That was easy.
I definitely need the money after giving all my money away in the first case. Now I'm done. Maybe I have to keep playing cards to get him to tell me more. Don't get cocky, Falcon. Dealer stands on 17?
Yeah.
Lame. I'll do like 5 total games and see where we end up. Hey, I like the cards too. You know, just a little art in them. Just seeing if there's any story progress from getting.
It reminds me of
games
Katie's
here.
cards. Do we still have those?
What cards?
Remember Katie Hare? She, for her like final art school project, she made a deck.
Katie
of
Hare is
cards.
one of Andrea's friends.
Yeah, I've known her since middle school.
Womp womp.
She's actually my sister's maid of honor because I didn't want to be because I'm lazy.
With a streamed COVID-19 wedding tomorrow.
Yeah, I got a picture of our rehearsal.
Oh God, stressing me out there. Ha! Nope, I'm done. I don't think he has anything else to say, it looks like. Oh, that's cool. It keeps the Facebook for the other people you've already met. Prior trials. I'm gonna do the Phoenix Wright thing and inexplicably have characters show up from previous trials. It'd be funny if they commented on that and someone showed up and was like, I don't have anything to do with this. What are you talking about?
Refill time. Kitties, I'm not feeding you.
Let's go. Thank you. Go to the library. Follow the hunting beagle's advice. Don't eat poisoned pork. I want to learn about a member of royalty. We should hit the library. I enjoy modern works. Have you read The Three Musketeers? It has heaps of romance, intrigue, and action. You would love it, Sparrowson. Don't patronize me. Of course I've read The Three Musketeers. You just memorized that single sentence to sound well read, didn't you?
Oh, I wrote a whole paper about that.
I hear you squawking from the other side of the building. The librarian's a donkey. Nice. Nathan. Ori's oars.
What'd I miss?
Nothing. I'm heading to the library to research our client. What can you tell us about the Spanish monarchy?
You want to know about Don Quixote. The answer is going to be in Don Quixote.
Spanish throne's currently under dispute. Can you give us a brief rundown on who the contenders are? Trivial question. Even an elementary school child can name the immediate heirs to every throne in Europe. Current reigning monarch of Spain is Queen Regnant Isabella II of the House of Bourbon, daughter of King Ferdinand VII. On her death, the crown would likely fall to her husband, King Consort Francis. It's certainly possible that an immediate family member could stake a claim. The Queen's position is being disputed by the Carlists, headed by the Count of Montmollon. Not a word. Interested in a Prince Juan Querido. Prince Juan Querido? Is that what you said? I think you've been misinformed. There is no Prince of Spain. I'm not even sure Querido is a real name. It's certainly no line of any Spanish monarchy. He certainly is hiding something. Maybe he's a delusional lunatic, or perhaps he's involving us in some sort of con.
Ask about Don Quixote.
I borrowed this book from a friend. What can you tell us about it? It's a classic.
Everyone's
read it. Con. Book didn't come from any library, if that's what you're asking. There's no library stamp or card. I assume it was acquired from a bookshop, a French bookshop. I kind of wanted to ask him what's on the missing page 44. Interesting. So now it seems that it's not just go to all the time locations. I'm actually having to make choices about where I go. But I think I can go talk to... No, let's see.
What do the clocks mean?
It means time will pass if I go there. I need to confront him about not being a real Spanish prince. Reason to believe you're housing a suspect under false pretenses. It's a direct violation of statutes 204B and 488C of the French Criminal Code of Justice, and I believe that this game is legit enough that it may have actually looked that up, but... Failure to comply with our request may result in you, yes you, being held responsible for any consequential legal action. You need to break out the legalese on me, I'll go open the cell. How did you memorize those criminal codes? Learn how to bluff. Never mind. It is so good to see you again. Confront politely. In order to maximize our chances of a successful trial, I need to know every bit of information. I can't work with half-truths, or outright lies. I know you are not the Prince of Spain. I know your name is not Juan Querido. If you want your trial to be a farce, you don't need my help. I'll reveal all. What happened to your Spanish accent? Your suspicions are well placed. Juan Querido is not my real name, and I am not a Spanish prince. It's a persona I concocted for the purpose of getting arrested. What? Why would you want to get arrested? If I tell you the full story, I'll be putting someone else in danger. I'll tell you a story. I like stories. There was a girl. A great deal of debt. This particular girl was indebted to a very powerful man, and that man wished to collect. The girl had no means of paying, so the man offered her a deal. Murder this man, and I'll forget that you are owed. Refuse, and I will reap what I am owed from your parents. No alternative options, the girl accepted. But another man, a gallant knight with foolish, archaic notions of chivalry, heard the girl's story. The knight knew the murder was inevitable, but he saw a way to take the fall in the girl's place. Do you understand what I'm saying? Interesting. So again, it's going to be complicated.
I mean, that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah. It wasn't the subtlest of allegories. Why did you not just go to the police with the information you had? The police aren't always an option. What is a man to do when the justice system itself is the problem? I know, that's right. Hope for a miracle? Use the power of spiritual medium communication? You can deal with the prejudicial justice system? What is your real name? It's an empty label, a vapid reflection of who you really are. Today I'm Juan Carrillo, the Prince of Spain. Tomorrow I may be Bruno Ryer, pauper living under the bridge. Doesn't change who I am or what I do. I think this game kind of reels you in with like the first chapter with the crazy art and the animations and the bird puns, and then like the entire start of Act 2 is pretty much completely played straight. I already know my real name. You are Don Quixote. I am Don Quixote in the non-literal sense, as are you. All of us seem to be jousting imaginary giants nowadays. I see, so I could have evidence to know his name. It's cool that he had unique dialogue for that, too. Find Mountie and ask him whether the birds have successfully flown south for the winter. It does pertain to this case. We're going to have nothing for the trial. It's interesting. I wonder how they have different trial layouts depending on what sort of evidence you have. Trying to talk to Mousy. Okay, so I have basically no time here. Should probably check out the crime scene. Big Arc is up the road. Why are there two? When a man like Napoleon invades half of Europe, he gets to build as many triumphal arches as he damn well pleases. Who's this cock?
Ah!
That arrogant voice. Is this Edgeworth? This is Sparrowson, my assistant. This is... yep. I love the way they set it up, too, with the music. The most pompous prosecutor in Paris. Are you two old school friends or something? More like arch rivals. I love it. Arch rival implies some sort of competition. I feel like this game is completely playable without ever having played Phoenix Wright as well. In court on 5 occasions, and on 5 occasions did you get humiliated terribly?
I don't know. I think I would say he's cocky.
Yeah. They really don't like to draw hands if they don't have to. Currently employed by the Prince of Spain. What an amusing coincidence. I am the prosecutor for the same case. Shock. It's a pity the Spanish Prince will indubitably hang. That's what he gets for hiring a bird brain to represent him.
Isn't he also a bird brain?
Yeah. One always speaks badly when one has nothing to say. He's giving you the verbal smackdown. Quick, Falcon, make a witty retort. I'm rubber and you're glue.
What are you saying?
Oh! The anachronistic shit is I love it. It's so funny. But enough talk. Just like your opinion, man. That was great. Did seem like a bit of a cockerel. Is it true that he trounced you in court 5 times? Stole this annotated map of the Louvre out of Cocorico's pocket. Pretty impressive or pretty illegal?
Pretty impressive.
I swear you were standing 3 meters away the whole time. It's like taking candy from a very tall baby. This map shows the entire area. Most convenience. Pen and arrows show the route taken by the king's entourage. Means the king went first. Here. And then here, where the murder occurred. Didn't Prince Juan say he spent the morning in the gardens? Approach from the west side. Feather-headed friends wander through the immaculately maintained gardens. Nothing seems out of the ordinary until they spot a familiar face picking up litter by a tree line. Is it the photographer? Robinio. Did someone call me? It's you. You see this game's Larry? I'm not doing this willingly. I was giving community service for committing perjury. They gave me an esteemed photographer community service. So, like, actual consequences that we see in the course of the game for perjury. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Heaton, that the retorts. I wonder if they're going to have any references to Lucky Island. Have you met a Prince Juan? Spanish Fox? No, I've never met anyone like that. If this is about that assassination attempt, then you're asking the wrong person. I only started working here today. I think this is what I was saying earlier. I wonder if they're going to bring back characters from earlier trials and then just be like, I don't have anything to do with this. Because in Phoenix, right, people always come back and they're always relevant every single time. It's like comical. Oh, but he can give me some evidence as the groundskeeper. That's fair. Is it page 44 of Don Quixote? What's it worth to you? It's trash. It's literally worthless. I'll speak with the judge. You'll do that for me? Thank you. I'd appreciate that. It's found by the garden, by the west entrance.
Yes, Ben?
Are we all done here? Not yet. Ooh. Porcupine. Murder occurred under the new painting. Please don't talk to me. Please don't talk to me. Excuse me, you know like you know your Mona Lisas from your last suppers. Keep it together, Eric.
You got this, Eric.
Eric Pork. It's the piece right behind you. That's fucking great. It's one noble-looking penguin. What do you think of it, Falcon? It's a masterpiece. Subtle and nuanced. What do you think?
Subtle and nuanced.
Careful brush strokes. This is contrasted, nuanced work. You said a lot of words, but I'm not sure if I'm any closer to knowing your opinion. My opinion, y'all aren't regulars here. The right pair of Philistines. Remember that line from Final Fantasy VI in the Woolsey translation? Go in the auction house, and the guy's like, "Do you like art? No, Philistine."
I've never heard that before.
From the Bible, the Goliath was a Philistine. Philistines.
Well, and so he wasn't into art? Why don't I mean I know why
insult to basically mean
why
like
don't
you're a
we like
savage.
Goliath? I mean I know David kills him with his little slingshot, but why? What was wrong with him? Was he bully? Is he big bully?
They're the enemy army. He was like their champion.
But why were they enemies? Did they try a diplomatic solution?
If only the Bible was a video game. I think I might be able to help you out. R&M Associates. Oh, private investigator. Vulpus, so it must be a fox. Another fox. I don't usually deal with these gray area of the law types.
Wait, so we're the evil invading aliens?
Yeah. It's referring to the tribe that were enemies of the Hebrews. Business card for R&M Associates, the Office of Bernard Volpus, private investigator. So I'm assuming that he's actually the guy that I have in the jail, so I can go talk to him and try to present that to him. There could be multiple foxes. This is the room the king and his entourage stopped in before heading to the gallery. Then you're around here to interrogate. Interview. Let's snoop. These would have already gone over the gallery with a fine-tooth comb. The numbskull Inspector Valerdi didn't even think to check this room for clues. Okay, he really is gumshoe.
Is it possible to kill someone with just one stone? Like a little stone and a slingshot? Like, did he hit him in the temple or something?
Slings throw rocks really hard.
Right, so like,
really fast.
Where did he hit him? Like in his skull? Like in his forehead and broke his skull?
You could break someone's skull. Absolutely.
Dope.
You could cause permanent brain damage and kill someone with hitting them with a sling. That's why people use slings.
I suppose that makes sense. If they were useless, then...
Shiny
it's
copper
hard
urn.
to aim.
It's used for carrying water for cremated remains. Probably not both at the same time. It smells good. Don't sniff the exhibit, Sparrowson. This urn smells amazing. It's almost chocolatey. You're hallucinating from hunger. Don't patronize me, Falcon. My nose never lies.
Is it the poison?
I found chocolate in the urn. It's a chocolate wrapper. It was bitter and dark. 70, perhaps 80% cocoa.
Yeah,
Belgian in
sir.
origin.
Way to do
Plus
the math.
Sparrowson. Yeah, you can die from surprisingly little force to the head. Just like falling down the stairs. Oh yeah, you're in constant threat of dying from
You'd think
slightly
evolution
tripping.
would have, made that not true.
Sorry, let me mute Discord. Having to turn the mute on and off.
Oh, okay, so there's this fox, and he was claiming to be the Spanish prince, but he's not actually the Spanish
I
prince.
think he's a private investigator.
And he's letting himself get framed for a murder on purpose to protect a girl who was in debt. Now, the murder was, there was a dude in the Louvre near a painting of himself, and the fox guy came in and gave him a rose, and he pricked himself with the rose and immediately fell down and foamed at the mouth and died.
The guard was the one that pricked himself instead of the intended target.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. Yeah. Anyway, so the king is fine.
Sparrowson knew everything about the chocolate just from sniffing the wrapper. We're reading here.
So now they all think that the rose was poisoned, but I think that that's a red herring. You're welcome.
Do you have any idea which shop this chocolate was purchased from? Maybe the chocolate was the murder weapon. Visit every confectioner in town and sample every bit of merchandise for comparison.
I told you it wasn't the rose.
Interesting, because I see the chocolate important written on the wrapper. You can't blame a bird for trying.
So, Serp, were you around when we found out that the cat actually did it and framed the lion?
It was great. I was super happy with that.
So we got her off?
Yeah,
even though she was the actual murderer?
And it actually says that. It says, it's like, hey, he did it. And then the protagonist, Falcon, is like, no, we don't know that he did it. We're just creating reasonable doubt. And the Sparrowson's like, are you sure? Like, what's the difference? Like, there's a difference. And then you go back and she's like, yeah, I did it. Thanks for getting me off, though. Sort of standard podium. Roman doors are enormous marble slabs. My uncle's a Roman historian, trust me. Columns have been designed to look Roman. I think this style is Ionic. Ionic? Yeah. It's not Ionic, Falcon. Iony is when a character says something, but the reader knows it means something completely different. That's not, never mind. I love that joke train. There's one of my favorite Penny Arcade comics is that with Anomaly. Mm-hmm. You mean like an undersea creature? No, that's an anemone. You mean like a speech given by a priest? No, that's a homily.
Sounds you mean like our grits? Conversations.
It is, yeah. It's hominy. See a cabinet full of engraved plates, mostly bronze. How much do you think they're worth? 300 francs apiece, at least. I'm in the wrong profession. Could become a museum robber.
Fair.
This game could have been very low effort. I have to say, they could have gotten away with just making a game called Aviary Attorney and just sold it based on the title and made their money and people played. I'm like, fine, it's like a 60 on Metacritic. I actually don't know what the Metacritic score is on this game, but I think they did their homework, and I think that they're actual like Phoenix Wright fans. And I don't think they're like saying Phoenix Wright is bad. They're just kind of paying tribute in a way. It's like Galaxy Quest is to Star Trek, right?
Dude, Galaxy Quest is way better than Star Trek.
Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek movie.
I'm sorry.
It's better than Star Trek movies.
That's true. I haven't ever seen the shows.
Oh my god, you're awful.
Well, I like Galaxy Quest. I can't assume that there is anything better. It has Alan Rickman. Do the shows have Alan Rickman?
No.
Well, case closed.
This is a sacred Mesopotamian artifact gifted to Emperor Hadrian for his victory at Euphrates in 123
It's Sigourney
AD.
Weaver, right?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a Hippo's chamber pot for all I know. I love Sparrowson. Supporting column. It's holding the roof up. Column were truly supportive, it wouldn't hold the roof up. It would encourage the roof to get to its location on time.
Oh, it scored 77. I would have thought it would be higher.
That's surprisingly low. Huh. Maybe because it's only 5 hours long, but I would give it bonus points for being so short.
Yeah, it's not longer than it needs to be.
Yeah. Phoenix Wright is. I like Phoenix Wright, but it's much longer than it needs to be. Okay, I think we've been everywhere there is to be. Let's go. New day. Occasionally, special cinematic scenes marked by an exclamation mark will pop up on the map screen. Only available for 1 day before disappearing. They take no time to visit. Reviewing is entirely optional.
Ah, it's just flavor?
Yeah, that's cool.
You love flavor.
Storm is brewing, my brother.
Ta-da!
Word of the royal assassination attempt has spread.
Oh, I know this song.
Proletariats grow confident. Bourgeoisie are cowering.
Oh, it's Swan Lake. No? It sounds like Swan Lake.
Long before we have rioting. And then a revolution, setting the scene. Cool.
Maybe it wasn't Swan Lake.
Go back and see if I can show him, unless if it's too late for me to show him the evidence. Lame. If I had gone there in the right order, I could have shown it to him. Newly established private investigation.
Don't you want to go to the chocolate place? No?
It's a hard call. I mean, it could be that the chocolate was poisoned and is significant. I could go talk to the flower girl, but I'm guessing we're just going to find...
It's not the flower. I'm telling you right now, it's not the flower. Now, if you can talk to... Wait, no, we already know who bought the flower. The prince. I say go to the
I
chocolate.
think it's the chocolate. Welcome, welcome.
Willkommen!
Lander Hagelslach's
That's
Chocolate
German.
Emporium, the finest Belgian chocolate shop in all of Paris. I am Lander. Does he talk through the end of his trunk? Okay, no. He was doing a little animation there with a cigar. That's great. Oh, lawyers, very fancy.
Whoever decided to give that
Stream
elephant a
to being
cigar is
there.
a fucking genius.
Yeah, that's great. The art in this game is incredible. I was a young boy. I befriended the son of a Hungarian attorney. Falcon, you have to help me. It's the smell, Falcon. It's overpowering me. It's demanding I lay waste to the shop. Are you here to buy some chocolate? Yes! My favorite moment of this game so far is when Sparrowson was like, oh!
Yeah, and it had like the power radiance.
Majesty marks. Run the regular show. That is indeed the trademark Hagelslack wrapper for genuine Belgian Hagelslack chocolate. Those most certainly bought from this very establishments. Who bought this piece of chocolate?
Yeah, that's probably a good question.
Not just because of matters of confidentiality, because I couldn't possibly know that. I thought elephants never forget. The memory's impeccable. Dozens of customers per day, hundreds of people that could have potentially bought this particular item. If we were to give you the description and name of a person, would you be able to tell us whether they purchased something from you?
Oh, maybe it's chocolate that has chocolate sprinkles on it. Yo, dog.
Let's try Juan first.
Well, you can, yeah, probably rule him out.
Prince of Spain, no. I did once serve a princess from Mali, if that helps. Met the girl hiking through the Himalayas. That's cool, sir.
Do you think you've already met the murderer?
Possible. Mice terrify me.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's common, isn't it?
Nathan would make sense.
I don't know, the porcupine was kind of shady.
You think so?
I mean, maybe he was just anxious, but he was all like, ooh, I hope they don't talk to me.
I have to do it from the Facebook, unfortunately.
Can you just ask everyone? Just
Probably, but I don't want to do that.
What? Why not?
It seems like they might have unique dialogue for each one, which is impressive. Because usually Phoenix Wright only has dialogue for the right answer.
You're a lazy investigator.
Member of the Royal Guard by the name of Major Howell. Served many soldiers, but I don't recall seeing a major here. Just means Major Howell didn't buy the chocolate that may have killed him. Still the possibility someone bought the chocolate for him. That's our lead. That's who we want to find. Didn't once serve a high-ranking officer of the British Army who was on his way to Zimbabwe. If you want to hear that story. No, I don't want to hear that story.
Seems like you can't just ask everyone.
Presumably I can return without burning a whole day. Oh no, it always burns a day to go there. Holy shit. Am I in trouble or what? Let's see. I need to get his real name. We were supposed to report to Mousy. Bernard Vulpes. It's Prince Juan's real name. It's normally Vulpes who chooses which cases to take on.
Is he a fox?
He wants to know if the birds have flown south for the winter, whatever that means. Okay, yeah, it's definitely him. Prince Juan told you that. That must mean he trusts you. He wants you to take these. Go on, take them, take them. Train ticket stubs? 2 people took a railway trip to Vienna. What is the point of this, Mousy? See the names. Prince Juan told me to book train tickets for these people and to make sure they caught the train. Interesting. Swans from the last name Signa, yeah. Well, shit. Officially out of time. Spanish prince to defend. He's not a Spanish prince. I wonder how they set this up, if it's even possible without having all the proper evidence.
Yes.
Of course I'm nervous. What have we learned about Prince Juan? What do we know about the real murderer? Nothing. Trust everything's in order? I have every intention of bringing the truth to light in this trial. Ah, such confidence. Admirable goal. No more jousting and imaginary giants. I think they put a lot of work into having, like, branching dialogue based on what you've discussed with people.
Like those little shell things.
I'm kind of frustrated to hear that it only got a 77 on Metacritic. I mean, maybe it completely falls apart at the end of the game. But so far, it's actually quite stellar. Just calm as cuckoo. You're the nervous one. This whole courtroom is nervous. Can't even maintain a stoic facade. You can see it getting hit for being a visual novel. Maybe from people that didn't play Phoenix Wright.
I know this song too.
Phoenix Wright. Judge Romulus, get it? He's a wolf. Sabine, does the primary judge look hairier today?
Why the fuck do I know this
Different
song?
judge.
Dylan, what's this song?
We've got another joke here that, like, it's always the same judge. It's strange, isn't it? Not really. There are a dozen judges in Paris alone. It only makes sense we'd see a different one in different cases. The impression Judge Maxine would be presiding over the case. Where is he? Got on temporary sick leave due to a terrible accident with a flight of stairs. Rest assured, assessors, prosecutor, defense, and members of the jury, I'm more than qualified to fill his shoes.
It does kind of sound like an Aladdin song. Kind of reminds me of the, like, goldfish in the Fantasia, Nutcracker sequence.
Okay, we're at time here.
Alright.
Future Marstead, you didn't get to fully investigate this. Double check through your evidence so far. Your defendant is, in fact, Renard Vulpes, a private investigator who's trying to protect a girl.
Must have been in Looney Tunes or
by
something.
basically framing himself for murder. We think that the chocolate may have been the actual murder weapon rather than the rose. It's the
rose is
supposed
not the
weapon.
murder weapon.
But we don't really have evidence in either way because you kind of fucked up the investigation phase. Thank you, Brutus, for sharing this. This is a cute game. I like it very much. I think it's actually very high quality. Like, not only is it cute and funny, and I think they could have gotten
Ooh, and
away
it's
with
an
just the premise,
alliteration.
but it's
Avery
well
Attorney,
done.
I love alliterations.